So let's give a round of applause to Hussein then. All of you showing up here today, either organizing or joining us to listen to the presentation. Right. So today I'm going to talk about reshaping construction and 3 ways to find your fit in the future. What this is really about is the fact that we live in a world that is changing, and all of us, regardless of where we are in our career, we are not sure about what the future is and where we're going to be in 10 years or 15 years or 20 years.
Thank you.
Yay,
Bye.
that's it. No, I'm okay. Anyway, I'll see you. Start again. So, traditionally we can tackle this by asking the guy to build a building with a shovel, or we can look at maybe some other ways to do this. Quickly, a bit about myself. My name is Carol. I'm 30. I'm working from Romania. I'm really into numbers and maths. I assume a lot of you like that. Does anyone know what that formula is? It's my favorite formula from school. It's Heron's formula. You can find out an area of a triangle by just knowing the length of the sides. Played basketball professionally for 12 years. Chartered with IStructE. Studied at the University of Manchester. Do we have students from the University of Manchester here? Yay! Well, congratulations. I've worked at Bramble and now I work at ROC. And yes, all the other stuff Sam already talked about. This presentation, I've put it up, is kind of a 1-hour presentation. But we're going to do it in 15 minutes today. So buckle up your seatbelts and we're going to go for a ride. So what is the world going to look like? Well, we're going to use that guy who's seen on the other slide, help us, telling us how it's going to look like. The world is changing. In this part, we are asking ourselves what's going on, and basically everything is changing. But we put this slide quickly because you all know these terms, but there's something common there. Food is changing, the way we eat is changing, the way we work is changing, collaborative spaces, the way we travel is changing. We don't use hotels that much anymore, and we use Uber more than we drive. The way we learn is changing, online platforms and code accounts. The way we shop, the way we pay, and the way we use banks, the way we spend our time, being more focused on our body and mindfulness, but also businesses that are more traditional, like human resourcing, recruiting, marketing, advertising, are disrupted by newer firms. And also engineering. Most of us here are into engineering is changing. We have Tesla, people want to go to Mars, people want to go to the center of the Earth and then use trams to go around it, basically. The good thing about it is that at least it's not only one guy doing all this stuff. So the whole world is changing, and the point here is that all those firms that you've seen have kind of started off in the last 5 or 10 years, and they're worth like billions of dollars. So there's a lot of disruption going on, and this disruption is still the construction industry as well. So the question is, where do you fit when these players come in and disrupt the whole market? Where can you position yourself in the future? What do you need to do? That's the question. So for that, we're going to have these 3 steps. The first step, construction is changing as well. So if you're interested in the sector, but it applies to engineering generally, you have to understand where we are today and how tomorrow's going to look like. So construction today. Construction is a huge market. I was talking to some of my colleagues recently today. It's 30% of the world GDP. But not many people really know what structural engineers are. But it's a huge market. It's growing really fast. 3.6% per annum growth. But it has a really low productivity. So I'm going to start talking a bit more about construction. $25 per hour. That's productivity, is the yellow. And total economy is gray, and manufacturing, for example, is blue. So really low productivity. What is the reason for this? So construction is kind of everything that's in there bottom left. And this is really low because they have many specialized trades that they don't really have very high productivity within the firms, and collaboration between them is not good. Also, not only productivity, but very low profitability. It's 4.4, we see construction there. Schedule overruns, programs are running late. It's really low digitization in the industry. It's only agriculture and hunting. I don't know if anyone is in that industry, but it's not a great place to be, second last. And all this has to be considered in relation with impact on climate change, because you can see in blue on the left, building and construction is 39% of the global emissions of CO2. So let's summarize this. This is construction today. Really low productivity and profitability, really low digitization and collaboration. And we have to think about sustainability throughout this process. So how is it going to look tomorrow? Now this part is really important. I'm going to focus a bit more on this and maybe whiz through some other parts. Digital fabrication is one way construction is going to change. Off-site manufacturing and assembly. Off-site manufacturing, design for manufacturing and assembly, factories like that, as you see in the automotive industry, and prefabricating housing are going to be a new product, and they are growing very fast. Cross-laminated timber buildings are also sustainable, and they are off-site manufactured. Robotics can also help a lot of digital fabrication, so robotic arms, and I know Nick, you're in robotics, are the new deal. 3D printing, I've been doing mini models in plastic, but some guys in Dubai, picture on the right, have built a building. It's the largest building in the world, completely 3D printed, entirely. Then you can look at site automation and start helping the guys on site by using drones, laser scanners, and photogrammetry to create and understand what your site look like and create these building models without really drawing them, being more efficient by using scanners. And some other stuff. Virtual reality, augmented reality, and cloud computing will help us visualize things in 3D very easily, help us in design, help us on site see the building before it's built. Smart buildings is all about tracking the information with big data, Internet of Things, and sensors, and machine learning, artificial intelligence, and blockchain. All this stuff are disrupting the world, are disrupting construction as well. And the message of this first step, the first thing you have to do is understand what's going on. So follow. You have to follow this trend, read, network, and know what's happening. Construction is changing. The second step, after we follow what's going on, the second step is understanding where are we going to position ourselves in the construction and engineering industry. We have a new deal, a real deal, and a big deal. What's the new deal? Well, the new deal is all these players coming and stealing our jobs. But they're actually not stealing our jobs. They're creating new jobs. They're stealing some jobs, because maybe someone that's using the shovel, you can have something doing that more efficiently. There are going to be roles that are going to be more important, which is engineering. But let's have a look at the new deal. What can you do if you want to be in the new deal? Spacemaker.ai is a business that is using artificial intelligence. All of this stuff are happening today for developing sites. So developers are loading them. They can automatically use this technology to look at sites and develop it and do wind analysis, noise analysis, glare analysis, soil analysis automatically. Motormo is looking at prefabricating housing. They're using self-financing, venture capitalism, large-scale projects to drive operational efficiency, and modular design for efficient and rapid development. And pretty much they're looking at all those factors to deliver modular, high-quality, sustainable homes. MX3D, large-scale metal 3D printing, not only concrete but metal, with using wire additive manufacturing to fabricate, design, and also push the research in this field. And they're awesome. They fabricated their robotic arm that is now doing their production. And they've also fabricated the largest 3D printed steel bridge in the world, which, if that's not amazing, I mean, what is? And Converge, Rouge asked me earlier about what are we tracking? Are we just tracking like those sensors about how much electricity is? No, we can help guys on site. Converge are doing that using smart concrete sensors and wireless and cloud-based technologies to monitor live, seeing on your phone what your concrete doing. In construction, you use 28 days to strike the formwork for the concrete. Forget about 28 days, look on your phone. You can track the temperature and the strength real time. But we get bigger than this. Have you heard about Google? Alphabet has opened, has started up Sidewalk Labs, which is doing everything. They're on new city. They're looking at Toronto at the moment. They started a project in 2017. I'm not Mark from Google. I'm sure there are other people doing this, but they're an example. The idea is that there are companies now that are doing urban planning, building, sustainability, digital transparency, public space, community engagement, everything pretty much, to take a city like Toronto that looks like that and try to shape it like that. So as you see there, they're using machine learning, they're developing new design tools, and they're creating pretty much new universal symbols so we can follow up what's going digitally behind the city, how they track the vehicles, how they track how the buildings are operated. Two more big names are joining construction. Intel is one. They're making buildings smart. They're starting to gain interest because they see how big the market is, how low the productivity is. So Intel has a smart homes and buildings division, which uses Internet of Things, smart sensor and cloud data to help managers operate their buildings efficiently. And also, IBM is joining the game. They've created IBM Maximo. Again, they're using the technology. The last thing to about blockchain, we haven't talked about that much. They can help players in the market be more collaborative for the blockchain and make payments and procurement and contractual and legal stuff like that. So that's the new deal. You can join the new guys that are joining the market, but there's the real deal. What's the real deal? Well, the real deal is engineering. We get a lot of disruption. Getting a lot of disruption means engineering is even more important, because engineers are the key position to drive projects forward. They do the concept design. They have to have a holistic understanding to tell analysts, data scientists, software engineers, Google what to do, and then check that what the computer are spitting out is correct. I mean, you know how many times the computer spits out some wrong numbers. In Excel, you have a number digit wrong and it's wrong, but if you know it's 100 and it's 1,000, then you know it's wrong. Engineers are really important. The institution of structural engineers, and what's structural engineering? Well, buildings need structures. So our president, Don Cullen, is saying the 2020 vision is for understanding of the future. We have to look in the past. What that means for me is that imagine today, we're all here with this new technology, and all the engineers before us are gone. We're screwed. We don't have where to learn from. We need to look in the past. We need the experience of those guys, and if we don't pass that over, then no one's going to have it. So they're really important. 2040 vision of IStructE is that we're going to have designers, niche experts, digital simulators, societal leader, and sage. I didn't know what sage means. Apparently, it's like a very wise person that knows to deal with engineers, technologists, and also translate all that to clients. These are 4 mentors that I've met through my career, and I've put in here Gary Willis from Ramble, John Smith from Lars, now, Lee, Leston Jones, ex-Ramble, now at Condal, and Jane Nissel, which is the IStructE Vice President. You feel the weight in the room, no matter how many software engineers are in a room. When you're in a room with these guys, you feel the weight, and you feel how much knowledge they have, and how much they can teach you. They are important. They are the real deal. Also, I want to say that not only the new companies disrupting the market can progress. Innovation can happen anywhere. ROC Consulting, a small firm from Manchester, we're looking at using cool stuff like Power BI to track the embodied carbon in buildings. Or companies like Ramble are doing dynamic master planning, and they're competing. Well, the new guys are competing with them, but they're keeping up really well by creating very smart tools and using new technologies. For example, here to develop sites really quickly. And there is the big deal. So here you're trying to see, do you want to be the new deal? Do you want to be the real deal? Do you want to be the big deal? We have new technology, we have engineers, we need leaders. We need good managers. Too many times in engineering, the best engineer becomes the manager. It's not right. because sometimes they don't want to, sometimes they don't like it, sometimes they're not the best guy for it. And some guys are really good leaders. This guy, Martin Powell, is the chief executive of the Institution of Structural Engineers. I've met Martin through the institution. You don't need more than 1 minute to be inspired when you talk to him. We need people that have a vision, that create strategies, and that inspire all the other guys in the market to follow. Dame Judith Hackett, DB, she wrote Building a Safer Future, an independent review of building regulations and fire safety, which we all now in construction treat it as a Bible, because it's a revelation of health and safety following the fire that happened in the construction industry at Grenfell. And Mark Farmer, I think I've seen, I don't know if it was talked about in some previous presentation or sorry, but the Farmer review of the UK construction labor model, modernize or die. What a strong statement. It scares a lot of us, but it's not supposed that we're scared, is that change is happening, follow it. So what's this about? We follow stuff, we see there are 3 ways, 3 positions where we can go, 3 roles. So we have to foster. We have to understand where is our passion, and we have to foster this passion, invest in it, to understand where we can add the most value. And last but not least, we come back to see the young guy that's telling this story and understand that the thing about all this is the human aspect that's following us through the story. So we follow, we foster the passion. It's a lot of new technology, it's a lot of disruption in the market, but it's important to follow the human passion. There are ikigais, a Japanese method which is trying to help you do this. So it's saying there's only 4 important things. It's what the world needs, what you can be paid for, what you're good at, and what you love. So we've understood some of the parts in the presentation today, what the world needs, what we can be paid for, we understand what we're good at, but it depends what we love as well, and how we cherish this. I always try to remember, and with IStructE we talk about this a lot, about reaching beyond yourself. You can do charity to help people, you can do extracurricular stuff, 3D printing, so you can go to the Manchester Library and do it. And yes, it goes on your CV, yes, you do it for yourself, it's really cool, it helps you in your career, but I've been the chair last year, and I'm not the chair anymore this year, it's on my CV and I'm still going. And all of you will find at some point that there is something more than engineering, there's something more than new technology, there's something more than the job, is reaching beyond yourself. I would welcome you, and I would ask all of you to come and see us at the Institution of Structural Engineers. We have a great young members group. We have 15, 20 people turning up to our meetings every month, and we get everyone involved. That's a calendar for 2019. It's pretty similar in 2020. We have social, technical, and educational events, and then site visits. Structural engineering is very exciting. As you can see, you can shape 15% of the world by GDP in the construction industry. So yeah, please come and see us. The third step, what you have to do is pretty much spread your wings and fly. So these were the 3 ways to find your fit in the future. Don't be worried, it's looking good. All you have to do is keep up with it, find your role, and then be ready to go with it. Follow, foster, fly. Thank you.